Picture this. You're in the middle of a medical emergency. It's stressful, it's chaotic, and then someone tells you that you have to pay up before anyone can help. Well, we're going to break down exactly how you can navigate that situation in India without paying a single rupee upfront. This is all about knowing your rights when it truly matters most.
It seems like an obvious question, right? Of course, a life is priceless. But that fear, that gut-wrenching fear of a hospital demanding a huge deposit before starting a life-saving treatment, that's terrifyingly real for so many people. So today, let's separate that fear from the facts.
And that brings us right to the heart of the matter, the payment problem. It's this huge gap between what should happen at the hospital door and what, well, sometimes actually does.
You see, for decades, the law has been absolutely crystal clear. A hospital has to treat an emergency patient first, no questions asked. And yet, we all know the on-the-ground reality can be a demand for deposit, creating this dangerous, terrible barrier when every single second counts.
So, let's build our foundation here. This isn't about you asking for a favor from a hospital. This is about you demanding a right, a fundamental right that is legally protected at the highest possible level in the country.
And look, this isn't some new guideline that just came out. All the way back in 1989, in the landmark Parmanand Katara versus Union of India case, the Supreme Court made this mandatory. Every single hospital, I don't care if it's private or government, must provide immediate care. Honestly, this is your ultimate trump card.
And this ruling has real teeth. It means a hospital cannot legally demand a single penny before a patient is stable. They cannot refuse care to anybody who comes through their doors in an emergency. And they absolutely cannot delay treatment for things like paperwork or KYC. All of those excuses are completely illegal, period.
Okay, so you've got the right, but how does this actually work in practice, right? This is where we get into your toolkit, the specific government schemes that turn this right into a cashless reality.
First up, we've got a total game changer for road accidents, which, as you know, are a huge source of emergencies. It's a nationwide scheme called the Road Accident Victim Assistance Scheme, or just RAVAS for short.
And here is the key number you need to remember. Under RAVAS, any road accident victim is entitled to up to 1.5 lakh rupees of completely cashless treatment. This is for those first, most critical 48 hours. And get this, it applies to absolutely anyone, doesn't matter what their income is or if they have insurance.
And we're not just talking about basic first aid here. The coverage is really comprehensive. It includes surgery, all the diagnostic tests, medicine, ICU stays, pretty much everything needed to stabilize a person and save their life in that critical window.
Now, beyond just road accidents, there's the massive Ayushman Bharat scheme. You've probably heard of it as PMJA. And here's a really vital detail. Even if a victim is unconscious or you don't know who they are, a hospital can admit them under the unidentified patient category and start treatment right away.
The coverage here is huge, up to 5 lakh rupees per family per year for hospitalization. It is one of the largest health assurance schemes on the planet, and it is an incredibly powerful tool to have in an emergency. On top of those big national schemes, a lot of states have their own powerful initiatives. Whether it's the Farishti scheme in Delhi or Arogya Kavacha in Karnataka, it's definitely worth taking a minute to find out what emergency care your specific state government provides.
Okay, but what about the person who actually stops to help? So often, people hesitate to take a victim to the hospital because they're afraid they'll get stuck with the bill or endless police hassles. Well, guess what? The law has an answer for that, too. It's called the Good Samaritan Law, and its entire purpose is to protect you, the bystander, so that you can help someone without being afraid. It's basically a legal shield for you when you step up and do the right thing.
So what does this mean for you? It's simple. If you help an accident victim, you cannot be forced to pay anything. You cannot be detained by the police against your will for formalities. You are protected from any kind of legal harassment down the line. You are free to help, and then you are free to leave.
So, you know your rights, you know the schemes, and you know you're protected if you help. But what do you do in that high-stress moment if a hospital still says no? All right, let's get into the playbook.
These right here are the magic words. You need to say this calmly and clearly. Please register the case under Good Samaritan guidelines and treat the patient under the Road Accident Cashless Scheme. Just by saying this, you are signaling loud and clear that you know the law. This one sentence can literally unlock the entire situation.
If they still push back, it's time to escalate. Step 1, repeat those keywords again. Step 2, calmly state your intention to call the police on 112 and the state health authority. and this is not an idle threat. Step 3. Take out your phone and just start recording. A video of a hospital refusing to provide emergency care is incredibly powerful evidence.
So why does this work? Because the consequences for the hospital are severe. I mean, they risk having their license suspended, facing massive fines, and even being charged with criminal negligence. Your actions put all the legal pressure right back where it belongs, on them.
So let's just bring it all together. A hospital demands an advance payment. You hit them with the Supreme Court judgment and the Good Samaritan guidelines. An immediate surgery is needed after an accident. You've got the 48-hour cashless RAVA scheme. The victim is unknown. They can be admitted under PMJAJ. If you're hesitant to help, the Good Samaritan law has your back. And if a hospital still refuses, you've got that clear 3-step plan.
Look, this information isn't just some abstract knowledge. It's a real tool. It's the power to act confidently and correctly in a moment of absolute crisis. So the only question left is, knowing what you know now, are you ready to save a life? Maybe even your own?